Welcome to my sewing channel, where safety is my #1 priority. Today, we're going to learn the correct way to sew a name tag on a garment which is destined for the school boarding house laundry. This is the equipment you'll need: 1 sharp sewing needle, thread, 1 name tag, preferably with the little extra bits like those red bits that are annoying on the back of the name tag pulled off, and any loose threads which are hanging over the edges just snipped off to make it nice and neat, ready to go. 1 thimble, 1 garment. Now when it comes to selection of thread colour, if the garment you are sewing the label onto has 2 thicknesses, like the top of this polo shirt does, you choose white thread to match the colour of the label. If, on the other hand, I was going to sew a label onto the collar for some reason, and my stitches would come right through onto a part of the garment which will be seen when the garment is being worn, I would choose a thread, say navy blue, that matches the garment so that it's not noticeable on the garment. So today I'm sewing it onto a double thickness of fabric, and I will choose white thread. Unroll approximately 40 centimeters, so 2 20-centimeter amounts of the thread. Thread the sewing needle. Like so. Line up the loose ends of the thread and tie a finger knot like we have practiced in the past when you have previously sewn badges onto your Scout uniforms. Clip the ends of the thread so that the knot is very close to the end of the double thread on the needle. Next, you pick up your garment, move to the right hand end. These are meant to double back on themselves, which is why there are little spaces between the names on a continuous roll of them, so that when those are tucked under, there are no loose edges which will fray in the wash. So pinch that down a bit at the bendy point, and then, can't pick up my needle so easily, pop the needle in the groove, approximately in the middle of the badge, and pull it through so that the knot is concealed in the fold. Then place the label on the garment in the correct position and hold it in position with your non-dominant hand thumb. You then take a tiny bite of the fabric, come back up through the label, and that is your first stitch. You then take another tiny bite of the fabric and come up through the label. That is your second stitch. When you enter the fabric, go in really close to where it's come out of the label, and you can then move along quite a long way, as I have here, to get down to the corner. Pull it through, and you can pick up the corner to hold the corner down. Again, into the garment, quite close to where it's come out of the label. I can move along quite a long way again, and then just picking up the edge of the label, and you can see that as we pull each stitch tight, it is going to really neatly hold the label down with the raw edge turned under into the garment, close to where it's come out of the label, along about 1/2 to 1 centimeter, and then pick up the edge of the label in close to the edge of the label, move along approximately 1/2 centimeter through the garment, and then out through the label. If you're sewing a double-sided fabric, a two-layer thickness of fabric, and you keep your stitch nice and shallow as you come along, as you will see, you will not see the white stitches on the reverse side of the fabric. So let's just finish this off and show you how it ends. Oops. Back into the fabric, really close to where I've come out of the label, along for about 1/2 centimeter, pull it through, catch the edge of the label. And when you get about this close, it's time to turn under the other end of the label like so, so that you're ready to catch that in place. Along about your 1/2 centimetre, out you come, catch the edge of the label, but not the folded under part, just the top section, so that it will be held in position. Back in along a 1/2 centimetre, and now you'll see that I'm going to come back and catch the corner. I usually catch the corner, put one stitch in the middle, about there, catch the corner again, like so, and along I go. Now I'm on a single layer of this fabric, but it's thick because I've come up onto the collar. I don't think you'll see much of my stitching on the back, but if you did in that position, it would be underneath where the collar folds down. I'm going to finish that off so that I can show you how to finish. Along we go for a 1/2 centimetre, catch the label, just the edge of the label. It looks neater if you just catch the edge. And we're back down to the corner. So along I go to the corner. And remember we started in the middle of the first end. So we've got to get to the end, catch the corner. And then what I like to do is just dive under the label and out through a nice thick piece of fabric somewhere. Then you just take a tiny little stitch, another tiny little stitch through and through to tie a knot. And I tend to run that through the garment a little, just so that I'm not cutting the thread really close to the knot. Cut the thread off level with the fabric, and there you have a neatly sewn on label all ready to survive the school boarding house laundry. Thank you for joining me for today's episode.